What is going on, people? It's your boy Astro, aka Ketchup, here today with this week's episode of the greatest anime news show on YouTube, ShounenKetchup. If you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that notification bell, because I'm coming at you with the best and the greatest and the most important anime, otaku, shonen news. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the stories for this week, because we got some good stuff. Any Demon Slayer fans out there? Okay? I'm happy that there is, because I'm not. Anyways, this isn't about what I think about Demon Slayer. This is about the news that we got this week. Demon Slayer, slated to start in October, will actually be returning with a two-parter, similar to Attack on Titan Season 4. How we got the first part, which was really good. Good job, Mappa, by the way, which I will actually talk about Mappa a little later, but good job, Mappa, by the way, for, you know that. But we had Demon Slayer, which is obviously Ufotable's baby at this point. The anime really boosted the popularity of that series to points that some would say overhyped, and by some I mean. But, it was a good series nonetheless in terms of animation and that stuff, and people enjoyed, which is great. So we're getting two parts, part 1 coming in October, and actually the part 2 of Season 2 coming in January. Speaking of that, we also have the news that the time slot for local stations, so if you're in Japan, I'm not sure why you'd be watching this video, but if you are, konnichiwa, or it's nighttime, konbawa, it's going to be changing to the later evening, I think around 11 or 12 or something like that. So if you are going to be watching from Japan for some reason, the time slot has been pushed back because I think it was earlier in the day, but now, maybe because of the darker themes that are going to be explored from what I hear, it's going to be a bit later in the day. So Demon Slayer fans, you continue to eat. So I did mention that we got some Mappa news, but it is not just Mappa news. It is Mappa and Madhouse collaborating. Mappa, Madhouse, fusion, collaborating to create the anime adaptation for Takt OP Destiny. It's like a post-apocalyptic series set in America, so you American people, hey, getting some shine there in the anime again. 2047, post-apocalyptic America, Takt OP Destiny. I have heard a little bit about it, but I'm trying to stay mostly unspoiled on that type of thing because it's a series I really want to check out. Madhouse has made some amazing series, animation-wise, obviously, No Game, No Life, Hunter x Hunter, One Punch Man. Season 1, it's important to make that distinction, really. That's like saying, hey, Seven Deadly Sins is great animation. You really got to make that distinction. So, yeah, we're getting that, and also, obviously, Mappa that I spoke of, they're responsible for the final season of Attack on Titan, and many other things like Jujutsu Kaisen, which generally a lot of good things are said about it. I have seen some criticism for Mappa from time to time, but, I think Mappa generally does a really good job, so it's going to be really cool to see that Mappa animation with Madhouse animation. I can't even begin to imagine what that would look like. How do you combine animation companies? Will certain parts of the scenes look like Mappa? Will Mappa use their CGI where it's needed? Will Madhouse use their beautiful lights and effects and all that good stuff everywhere else? I don't know. Either way, I'm looking forward to see it. So Takt OP Destiny, again, if you like that post-apocalyptic thing, or you're American, you just want to see another anime about where you live, go ahead and check that out, because that is coming soon. This be ShounenKetchup if I didn't come to you with some One Piece news. Yes, we got it again, boys and girls. We got it again. Some good news this week. We finally have the logo for the One Piece live action, which I guess to some could be considered bad news, knowing the track record of live actions. Looking at you, Death Note. Looking at you, Dragon Ball. But I have high hopes for this because I think Oda is somewhat involved, and the director seems to understand, you shouldn't needlessly change things unless you want people to hate it, like most other live actions. So, my hopes and most people's hopes are a little high, but at the end of the day, it is still a live action adapted from an anime, so we'll have to see. Regardless, the first episode is called Romance Dawn, which again is a good sign that they're going to keep decently true to the story, being that the first chapter is called Romance Dawn as well. So really looking forward to see that live action when it comes out. I don't know how much episodes it's going to be. That's something I should really look into. I don't know if that type of information's been released, but One Piece is a story that's very detail-oriented, and knowing kind of how series are released on Netflix, Amazon, these other streaming services, That's a part that definitely has me a little concerned, because a story like One Piece definitely needs to be handled with care, or else you get people saying it sucks. Because most of the time when people say it sucks, A, didn't pay attention, or B, didn't pay attention. That's really the only answer there is. Okay, so last but not least, in Japan recently, there was actually a survey for the best animes in the past decade.
In an order that would surprise you.
Enough!
And I think that they're talking holistically. Perhaps it's just the anime, but honestly, I took a look at that list and yeah, a little surprising. So without further ado, I'm not going to go through the entire list because it's 30, and you can check that out on one of the Facebook groups, Daily Dose of Anime. But shout out to them, because great source for news, or Crunchyroll News, or Anime News Network, or wherever else you find your anime news. Aside from this channel, obviously. But the top 5, okay? I hope you're ready for this. And I need to kind of cough a bit because not loving the list, but number 1. Sword Art Online. Okay? I've seen Sword Art Online. Just the first season, both parts of the first season, and let's just say I had enough after that point. To be honest, the premise was great. It was like one of the original isekais, right? Other than, you know, like your Digimon, your Dot Hacksaw, stuff like that. But let's just say I'm not a fan, and the fairy stuff completely turned me off, and I think it's trash, and it's one of the worst seasons I ever watched. But what do I know? And number 2, so the Japanese also really like Re:Zero, which you're gonna be like, yo, AstroKetchup, you call yourself a shonen anime fan, and you have just recently watched Re:Zero? It's true, I just finished part 1 of Re:Zero, or season 1, I guess you could call it, which is pretty crazy because I've been meaning to watch it for a while, but frankly, I don't love isekai, just as a rule, but it was interesting enough for me to want to watch it, so I did give that a watch, and it was pretty good. So seeing that at number 2 is a little surprising, but I think it's a good series overall. Don't love Subaru, kind of annoying, but based on, you know, the plot, kind of makes sense why he's acting that way. So number 3. At Oregairu. Okay, and that's another one I'm gonna have to search up. Quite frankly, that's one that I had not even heard of, but apparently it's very popular in Japan, so kudos on the bronze medal to you. Number 4, we got Violet Evergarden. Now, I have heard of Violet Evergarden, and it is on my watch list. It is on my watch list. It's probably coming soon, but don't have much to say on that one, because obviously I don't quite know the plot, but I do hear it is great, and I think the animation is good too. I forgot the studio that did it. It might be Kyoto Animation, but that could totally be wrong. Okay, so number 5, rounding out the top 5, the one that just made it into the top 5, we have Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl. Another one I haven't heard of, quite frankly. Really shocked to see that in the past decade, where we've had a lot of good anime in the past decade. Which, it's 2021 now, so anime from 2011. I'd really need to look at a list just to make sure I'm not naming things that came before that, because as you know, time flies, but a little surprised at that top 5, I'll be honest with you. A little grossed out at the number 1 pick, I'll be honest with you, but you know, the Japanese people have different tastes. I would have maybe thought Kimetsu no Yaiba might have been on that, but I guess not. I don't know what the parameters are towards it, but that's what the Japanese pick, so you gotta respect it, and it just goes to show how culturally things could be different between anime fans, because I know in North America we tend to go towards the more combat or psychological. Most of the shonen stuff ends up being like, you know, the adventure stuff ends up being pretty high up on people's lists, you know, flashy lights, fighting, shooting beams, but based on those top 5, it's very interesting, so shout out to Japan for having some very creative tastes. So that is it for this week's episode of ShounenKetchup. Thank you again, and again, if you have not subscribed, please do. Go ahead in the comments, let me know if you think that top 5 list is good, if you think it's deserving, if there's anything I missed or got wrong there. Please let me know if any of those series are actually really good, except for Sword Art. I will literally laugh if you tell me to rewatch that, but let me know. I really want to hear from you guys down there, so go ahead and do that. Besides that, if you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give this video a like. I'm here giving you the best in shonen news every single Wednesday or Thursday, and I say this every single week because I've been doing it on Thursday lately, but no later than Thursday every week you get the best in shonen news. So, have a great week, have a great weekend, and if this is the last time I see you,